just what the last 48 hours have been like for you?
It's been a whirlwind for sure, and I'm just looking forward to kind of getting my feet on the ground and get with the team here and getting a day-to-day lifestyle here. But definitely the last 48 hours have been a lot, but I was able to play today. And
The fans certainly gave you a warm welcome. What was that like almost every time you were on the ice?
That was pretty special, honestly. I wasn't expecting that, but that was very cool. And I know it's a hockey market, but that was exciting.
Not to mention getting your first goal in your debut has to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Hartsey made a great pass there to find me, and it's impressive, this team, and getting some of the pucks that, the guys are finding me and making really good plays, and as I get going here and feel more comfortable and get my legs under me, this is going to be exciting.
How involved were you, Quinn, just in this process and coming to Minnesota? Jim made it sound like, he wanted to accommodate you as much as he could.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I have, the ultimate respect for Jim Rutherford and Francesco Aquilini and the Aquilini family. They were first class with everything that was going on, and obviously it was a tough situation, but it felt like it was time, and I think Jim did too. But Jim was, Jim and Pat Purcell, my agent, he was, a beast. I'm very lucky to have him, but they were kind of talking a lot about places I might feel comfortable, and Jim was amazing with that. He cared about the person. He wanted me to go where he thinks I would be happy, and so.
What was the flight like with Bill yesterday, them coming to get you?
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Obviously a tremendous career, and really appreciate him trading the assets that he did to get me. Some teams, they're in until they hear what they have to trade, to get me. But Billy was full in, and I think, that was his first offer. And so obviously I want to do what I can here and prove him right. And, how he handled me with the Four Nations last year too gave me a glimpse of what a good person he is. And honestly, he was a big reason why, I wanted to come here.
What did you think when you realized your gear wasn't on that flight?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's on Bill or someone else?
No, that was definitely on me, but I'm thankful I got, some really good people in my corner that were able to make it work for me.
What excites you most about this organization right now, where it's at?
The first thing is just the players and the guys in the room, just getting a glimpse. Obviously I've met everyone 4 hours ago, but just how great the room has been and welcoming, and then obviously on the ice today, just, some of the elite talent they have. Carrillo gave me a pass in a second. I just wasn't ready for it. And, I would have had an open net, but as time goes on here and I start to read off him, he starts to read off me. I think it's going to take 4 or 5, 6 games, but once we get rolling, it's going to be, we're going to be hard to beat.
See, winning is so important to you, like with the guys that they have on this roster. How much do you think that this team is ready to kind of take that step?
I just got here, but a big reason why, obviously, is because I thought, they're, tremendous group, just playing them over the years. Hard to play against, really hard to play against, but got elite skill as well. And obviously, knowing that I was going to be able to play with Faber or Spurgeon too, two elite players, and Brodeen and some other guys that are great back there, Bogo, but yeah, to play with those guys I knew would be pretty good for me too.
Yeah, what was it like playing with Brock? It seemed like you guys were exiting the zone and shutting down offense off the rush.
Yeah, I just think as I get the systems and understanding, what we're supposed to do, closing guys off the rush, is the D supposed to go, is the forward supposed to go. But I think the more and more I play with, Brock, we're just going to continue to get better. And I think when I thought we were really good tonight, but as we continue to read off each other and get to know each other, I think it's going to be, pretty special because he's a fantastic player. So it's going to be exciting for me.
Where were you when you found out the deal was done? Were you on that flight from Vancouver to New Jersey, or how did it come about?
I think I had a good idea that, it's potentially my last game there in Rogers on Thursday. And then kind of had a good idea Friday morning. Wanted to go to New York, just obviously you never know. And I was able to see my brothers and get dinner with some of my close friends on the team. and see those guys. And I mean, I had some great memories there and some really good friendships, so it was obviously tough, but honestly couldn't be more excited for this chapter.
So you packed kind of knowing you might not make it back to Van.
No, not really. I obviously want to be respectful and not get on the team plane and, have a bunch of bags, I think. And also the deal wasn't done yet, but, I got, amazing mom who flew to Vancouver today from Edmonton and cleaned me out. So, thankful for her.
Jack, give you any insight? I think him and Boldy know each other fairly well, and I think Luke in favor, or is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've met them through Olympic camps, and I've gotten together with Boldy before, Boldy and Jack, and don't know them too well, but obviously everything I hear is amazing, and I'm excited to get to know those guys and play with those guys, honestly.
Were you with your brothers when you found out you got traded, or officially, or like do you kind of like?
No, but they knew it was coming, and I was happy to see them. Obviously missed that. I think we were supposed to have 70 or 80 people at that Devils Vancouver game today. So missed a bunch of those people, but it was just nice to see Jack and Luke. I haven't seen them in 3 or 4 months.
How open-minded, Quinn, will you be just to seeing if you could see yourself here beyond your current contract?
Extremely open-minded. They got an amazing core. Just obviously we've only been here 4 hours, but getting to know some of the guys and how energetic and positive guys are. And then Minnesota being so close to Michigan and just the state of hockey and the passion here. Just seeing how the fans reacted to me as well in warm-ups. And then obviously I got a lot of time for Billy for, quote-unquote, sacking up and making the deal like he did. And just, how he valued me. And, there are other teams that probably could have thrown in, certain packages like that too. But at the end of the day, they didn't want to do that, or they didn't want to trade 2 or 3 assets from their team like Billy did. And so I'll remember that, and that means a lot to me that Billy did that.
Arriving here last night, what's your level of winter clothing?
0, honestly.
Doesn't get that cold in Vancouver.
No, it rains every day and might snow once a year, but I definitely have some shopping to do.
You played a lot of games in your career, but was there any different nerves or emotions that you felt going into this game? I had to feel like something different.
Yeah, I think I was just, my body was a little fatigued. Didn't really have my legs today, and just trying to understand the system a little bit, the D zone, and I think a big thing that I'm really good at is just reading off my teammates. Paying attention to guys, their certain tendencies and whatnot. So as I continue to learn about my teammates, just be able to make some reads, and especially on the power play. A little nerves there in the first, and you can see it on that first power play. But like I said, it might take a couple games, but I think, as we get to Christmas and after Christmas, we'll be rolling.
You mentioned you knew it was kind of time in Vancouver to move on. Like, when did you kind of realize that, or was it something early in the season, or something you kind of just crystallized for you at a certain?
I don't know what's out there. I don't have Twitter, but there's some talks a little bit this summer, and I love the guys there, and some of those guys are my best friends, and you want to be successful, and so came into the year open-minded, and wanted to make it work, and obviously wanted to have a great year, but just think with the injuries and the direction it was going, it wasn't happening, and I think Jim knew where my head was at a little bit, and we got to talking, or Jim and Pat got to talking, and a couple weeks ago, and it kind of went from there.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Quinn.
man.
tell a certain different energy in the building tonight, just with Quinn here and the crowd going a little bit when he was everything in the puck?
Yeah, I thought it was. Crowd was electric. I think just from the, I would say, warm-ups to the introductions and then throughout the game. So it was great to see to have the building like that and the guys that performed the way that they did. So it was a great combo.
I think we focus on just like the fact you're getting him, but I think today's game was a perfect example of like he makes people around him better and the trickle down effect on the lineup, like Brock in particular, but just everyone. He has that ability to make everyone elevate everyone around him.
Yeah, he does. I mean, when you have a player of his capabilities, coming in, it's just he does so many things in the game that whether it's, the plays he's able to make, and he was on with different guys. I thought he and Brock were obviously a really good pair, but regardless of the situations he was in, he has that ability where he can make plays and he puts people. The thing with a puck moving guy like him is he puts people in good spots. If they're there, he's going to hit them, but also he can make some plays when he's got puck support around him that, allows things to be able to develop.
Exciting just knowing what it could look like after a few practices and a little bit more time together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of been a whirlwind for him, obviously, with the trade and then coming here and not skating, just coming into an early game, not even getting a pregame skate, at least with the guys. So I talked with Quinn after the game. I thought he felt good and was happy with, I think, the way he played. But obviously when you transition teams, there's a couple little things, just probably from defensive zone and rush coverage, not so much with the puck, but some things without the puck. But overall, I thought it was excited to have him, and obviously you see the type of player that he is. I think he fits in well with our group and the way that we want to play. So far, so good.
Expand on those talks, like moving forward, like just like the crash course that he might have got in your system today. Like, is that something you have to revisit as you move?
Yeah, and he talked about it. It's probably going to take a couple games, to get going, and obviously with the game schedule right now, the way it is, there's really not a lot of time to practice. It's probably mostly going to be pregame skates. But I just think once you settle in, even a day like today when you come in, it's his first time meeting the team and meeting everyone, and then you're going into play. So it'll be fine. But when you have a guy that has that type of hockey sense and the experience that he has, it'll be quick.
Johansson and
Possibly, but.
Johansson and Juracek, any update on the two of them? They both left early.
No, I don't have any yet on either guy.
How much do you value a guy like Quinn, especially when it comes to like puck possession and exiting the zone? I think he leads the league in both of those. Just how much value do you put that in to a guy like him?
Well, it's a huge value because I think it's, as we always talk about, you want to be able to get up and out of your zone. And I think he's a guy that can play. Like, the thing that's dynamic about him is that he can play within structure, but also even within that structure, there's a B, and a C play. And a lot of times he hits the A play, which then I think allows, the secondary attack. And I think in that situation, getting out of your zone is really important. But I think also what occurs in the offensive zone or coming up even through the neutral zone where there's plays to be made, he can execute those plays at a high level. And then I think also in the offensive zone, just the movement and the possession that he creates in those situations as well.
Adding him is obviously different than some of the other turnover you've had lately due to injuries, but it just seems like no matter what, it's just been kind of steady. And how admirable is that from the team?
Yeah, I think the team's really focused and committed to do what's necessary to win each night. But I would say that overall, I think our game is strong. I think from a defensive standpoint, regardless of who's in or out of the lineup, I think there's a commitment to play to the structure that we need to play with defensively, which has been strong. And I think offensively, we've been more threatening. I think as of late, the guys are getting to the interior of the ice. I think we have more of a shot mentality. I think we're competing hard in the offensive zone to give us opportunities to be able to create offense in multiple ways.
Any update on like Foligno or Middleton or Zuccarello? Like, could any of them be back this week at some point? Or?
That's a good question. I think it's. I probably won't know more until tomorrow, whether it's the guys from the game tonight or kind of what this week's progression is going to be. Foligno's been skating. Hinostroza, I think, is going to try to skate on Tuesday. Zuki and Midzi, I don't have an update on where their progress is going to be at, which I probably will tomorrow. And then I still have to find out about Johansson and Juracek tonight.
The paper played to Hartman on that and then rush there, like to show how much confidence he's playing with right now.
Yeah, Fabes, I thought he's playing really well, and I think that's another, he's been really solid for us for a while. But I think a play like that is something that you can make when you're feeling good and playing well and getting multiple looks and opportunities in those situations. And he did a good job and hit it tonight.
Anything else, Coach?